Hiya, welcome to the Red Men TV. It is the player rating show. We have brought that back and we're outside Anfield after Liverpool somehow beat Spurs 4-3 in the last minute of the game. Let's start with Alisson. Becker then. I didn't think he was brilliant. He's conceded 3, but what can you do about it? What did you think?
He's conceded 3. There are a couple of times it makes me nervous, but that's the way we play.
Yeah.
You know, we're not going to start just hoofing it up to the right winger or the left winger just for the sake of it to get us out of trouble. The way he plays, his calmness, earns us more goals in possession than it costs us. So, while it did make me a little bit jittery at times, I'll still give him a 6 or 7. He concedes 3 goals. I'm not sure he can do anything about any of them, really, having not watched them back. But yeah, 6 or 7.
6 or 7, Dave?
I'd say about a 7. Because, he didn't have much to do. For the goals themselves, he couldn't do much about it. It was right in the corners. I didn't actually see a good view of the Richarlison one, but it just lobs over him and he couldn't do about it. So I'd say about a 7. It's just distribution was a bit poor, but that's all I can really say about that.
Paul, Trent gets an assist once again. They did get him behind us. I think Son's goal, he runs in the middle of Trent and Konate. But going forward, once again, him spraying balls is boss.
He just looks like a world-class midfielder. I think about watching Steven Gerrard come through around that time. He's around 24 years old. He becomes the best midfielder on the planet. It's still early for Trent and he's still technically playing right back. Not that Steven Gerrard didn't do his jobs in there. I thought he was exceptional. I'm the other end, so I don't want to attest anything. Defensively, he may or may not have done, but in terms of controlling the game, I thought it was a 9 out of 10 from Trent.
Brilliant assist from him. Next season, would you like to see him play centre mid and us get a right back, or keep this system that we're going with?
I'd like to keep the system we're going with at the minute. Obviously, we haven't come up against any hugely great opposition yet, and of course that could come up. Well, of course, yeah, Arsenal. But we had a lot of the ball after sort of 30 minutes, and in the 30 minutes they were on top. I would say that he struggled a little bit, but coming into that position, I think it's so important. It's the way all the good European teams are building up, with 3 at the back and two just in front. And against Leeds, you sort of saw the kind of Pirlo 2012 performance from him. You saw this sort of deep line playmaker, the quarterback performance. But tonight, when he actually gets the ball in those central areas in attack, that little reverse ball to Gakpo for the penalty he wins is unbelievable. Yeah, his ball for Curtis Jones again, not the typical Trent performance from Leeds, the Trent ball from Leeds that you would have seen. But yeah, I thought getting him in those areas as well as the deep line areas were incredible. Yeah, 9.5 out of 10, if not 10.
I'm coming to you for Konate, so just get thinking there. Trent then?
Again, he's one of these players that is either going to be an amazing right back that's going to get criticised for the rest of his career about defensively, or he's going to be a world-class midfielder. It's one of the two, and everyone's going to criticise him no matter what he does. But he's so good, and the positives so much outweigh the negatives with Trent, because the way he passes, again, people have said he's the best passer in England, maybe the world sometimes, but he can just find a pass from nowhere. The amount of times he goes on a half volley and sprays it across the pitch, and nothing's matting. It's fucking nothing. I could dream of doing that.
Well, maybe we might see you in midfield one week. What are you giving him?
9 out of 10.
9. Oh, wow. What did you give him?
9.5, 10.
Oh, God, Jake. Right, what's your name?
Andrew.
Say that again.
Andrew.
Andrew. We'd say Andrew.
Yeah, I'm from Canada, so
it's a
little different. But I've been following.
He used to live in Canada. Anyway, moving on. Konate then won some absolute massive headers. I reckon could be at fault for maybe Son's goal. Him and Trent need to decide which one needs to pick him up. But what did you think of him today? Do you reckon he was better than Virgil van Dijk? What would you rate him?
Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, Van Dijk did have the slip on the first goal, so that didn't look great, but Konate, I thought played very well considering the fact that he's learning a new system with Trent coming into the middle. It mixes things up. So, I thought he was pretty solid, and he won, as you said, massive headers. He was huge.
Especially in the last 5 minutes, maybe he did win them, but obviously we did concede after that. But I don't think that was his fault.
No, not at all. He played a great game, and I mean, I was way back there and I noticed him playing well. So I mean, that's a good sign.
Out of 10.
I'll give him a 9.
A 9? Oh, good God, we've got loads. We did concede 3.
I'll give both centre-halves 7s on the day, ultimately because the goals they conceded, I go for him and Virgil, not because they didn't have great moments in the game, and I think Konate handles himself so well in those situations. He's asked to do so much. He's got so much greater responsibility than like a 23-year-old centre-back should have, really, effectively doing the defence on his own. Virgil struggled a little bit again. As mentioned there, the slip in the build-up to the goal's not great. He has to put the afterburners on, and I think that's all he's got in the tank. He needs to sum it off big time. No, I thought they were fine. Again, as you say, they've conceded 3 goals. I don't think it's one of those like 10 out of 10 centre-half performances, if I'm being honest. But who cares? Ultimately.
Yeah, to be honest, we won.
Van Dijk goal, Chloe. Like, I think because he's just cleared the ball off the line 10 seconds before, I think he wants to be the hero, and he wants to make that crunching tackle after he's done that, and therefore he overcommits himself. You never really see Virgil overcommit himself in that area, but I think because of what's come before, that slightly ruined it a little bit. But yeah, apart from that, 7 out of 10.
Kanate and Virgil, what are you giving them?
Yeah, Virgil 7 for the mistake, Kanate 8.
Kanate 8, Virgil Kanate?
I'd be giving both 7s. As Paul's outlined it all, it's like Virgil's really, really good, but he's showing a bit of his age in a sense of he's not got that pace anymore when he's sprinting back. He's not got that. He's still an amazing footballer, and he's still probably one of the world's best centre-backs, but in being honest and being quite realistic, he has fallen off since his injury. And he's shown he can get to the positions and stop goals, but he's I don't know what it is with him right now, but it just seems like he's a slight bit off the pace, or he's still
too lackadaisy for me. Now, here's one that might be a little bit controversial because I thought he was crap today, if I'm being fully honest. Yeah.
I was really enjoying Robbo's performance until the bit when he gave the ball away and he scored. But he had a couple, and it's mad that because I think the lad next to him, he goes, like, you've been shit all season, and I love him, bless him. He's a good guy, but he does take things a little bit more seriously than I do, so it always makes me laugh. But I did have pause for thought. I was like, yeah, he was a bit sloppy, but it's mad because I think you can enjoy someone's performance at times without necessarily thinking they were impeccable or whatever. I don't think it's a bit of an issue. I mean, he makes the mistakes 6 out of 10, maybe. Yeah,
no, that's what I'd go with. I mean, he still is on the winning end, so we'll give him that. Robbo?
6.
Great, 6s all round. I'm going to start with one of the man of the matches. Curtis Jones in midfield. Lad, you've had to deal with so much criticism and you've just shut everyone up. The last 3-4 games, you've been brilliant. Chelsea, I saw it as well. You were the one who got round the pitch, and yeah, we were crap that night, but I saw it. Curtis Jones, Andy, oh wow.
It's brilliant tonight, and there's a little bit of criticism from Jones that I think comes from the fact that he wasn't the player he was in the under-21s. He's not taking it past 4 men and sticking one in the top corner. He's not beating all these players, but he is sort of working himself into that left-hand side of midfield role, which, whether that's what Klopp wants to play or that's what Genie has made it is the sort of safer midfield role. It is the more conservative one. And I thought sort of a couple of years ago he was sort of coming into that position and doing well. Recently he's fallen back, but yeah, you're right, the last 5 games he's done really, really well. When he's needed to drive forward with it, what's this Ryan Mason mean?
Sorry, Ryan Mason's just said we were the better team by a country mile.
0 out of 10 for Ryan Mason.
Yeah, sorry, Curtis Jones, give me a rating.
Yeah, I'll go 8.5 out of 10. I think he was really, really good. Yeah,
there's a car. There we go.
We need to give him a country mile like Ryan Mason wanted. So yeah, no, he was a great. He's been great sort of last 5 or 6 games. The fact he's keeping Diago out of the team, one of the best midfielders we've ever seen for Liverpool, is telling. And yeah, he's adding more to his game week on week, and I really hope he can be a player for us next season.
I think that's a 10. I think that's a 10 out of 10. Yep. Curtis Jones, what more can he do? There's people out there who've been criticising him, and at the same time go, well, we haven't got a Genie Wijnaldum replacement. I don't think a lot of those people remember what Genie Wijnaldum used to do for Liverpool. Yeah. I mean, obviously, the one that stands out is he played lots of games of football, and that's Curtis's next challenge. Can he be fit and available and play consecutive game after game after game? But so far, I mean, it's the first time in at least 2 seasons that he's been able to put 5 or 6 consecutive starts down. It hasn't happened for him. He's had so many problems. He holds the ball up brilliantly, lets other lads get up the pitch. He gets goals as well, which is now a thing as well. Post, yeah. Absolutely. Sets up goals, smart little player, and he's a Scouser, and that's important. Yeah. A very, very important thing. I saw a stat, the first Scouts to Scouts goal since Ricky Lambert.
I've got that stat for you. Trent Alexander-Arnold assisting Curtis Jones was the first time a Scouser assisted a Scouser for Liverpool in the Premier League since Ricky Lambert assisted Steven Gerrard in his last game for Liverpool against...
Is that what their centre-half blagged the hamstring injury, wasn't it, when he was running back?
Oh, yeah. Anything for Gerrard. Right, we've gave Jones a 10. I'm not listening to anyone else. I'll bring you in for this one. I'll go with Fabinho. I didn't think he was the main problem in Liverpool today. I thought, maybe throughout this performance we've looked at him as being the player who's really, really off it. I don't think he was at fault for any of the goals that I can remember. Someone remind me if I am. I don't think he was horrific. I thought he covered spaces quite well. Wasn't outrageously good, but you know what? I was fine with his performance today.
He's a holding midfielder. You don't want to notice him, right? At times. So he played really well, and like you said, most of the goals I didn't see him making the mistakes, and that's really telling. He's had a tough little while and taken a lot of criticism, so to bounce back with that game was great. He played very well.
Rating?
Let's go 8.
8? No, I agree with that. Rating for Fabinho?
7, fine.
7 out of 10. Took the ball in some. Oh, never mind. I'll not justify my rating then, Chloe. No, he took the ball in some awkward areas, did well with it. I think he's been better on the ball the last couple of weeks, been a little bit more confident, a little bit more aware of the space around him, but nobody cares about that, yeah.
Oh, yeah, no.
Say about a 7. He's getting back to that point where he's able to win the ball back and he's cutting things out rather than just watching it pass by him. And it's great to watch that he's actually slowly getting back to the way he was. Because as I said about 5 weeks ago that he's nailed on to be sold in the summer, and now he's playing as well back into that team a little bit more.
Yeah, he is playing his way back into the team. A player that has been kind of absent from the team now for a little while is Harvey Elliott. I thought for the first 20 minutes he was brilliant. He was really in the action. I thought he got a little bit lost in the game, which you can do when you're coming back into the side, because he's not been playing regularly. At one point he was keeping Henderson out the team. Now that's not the case due to the counter press, but I thought he was alright today.
I don't even think it's because of that, Chloe. I think he's a young lad and he played every game for us up until the point. I think he needed to come out and the skipper needed to go in and do his bit as well. And I think the first half I thought, yeah, great, this might be better, to be honest, because I think Jordan Henderson does a lot of functional stuff in that, but I don't want him being in decisive areas necessarily in the final third. I think Elliott's a little bit better, if I'm being honest. But when the game got physical and when we lost that forward momentum, Elliott actually wasn't the guy to grab it back. Yeah. And he looked a little, what he is at times, is a little lightweight. I think it's fine. Again, he's been out the team for a while. I think it was a 7 out of 10 for him.
7.
Yeah, 7 out of 10. I think I think Paul's right. He did get lost in the game a little bit, but he wasn't anonymous. He wasn't like when we're in our defensive structure, he was there. He was pressing in the exact same way, and that's the part I want to see from Harvey Elliott. We know the quality he has. We know his 3 balls, his shooting, everything else. His quality in the ball is really good, but being able to be defensively solid and keep the structure, I think that's what we want to see. I think he did that today, and I want to see that performance from him more than the performances we're seeing in the first half of the season. Yeah, 7 out of 10.
I won't lie to you, someone's playing Diago's song back there. If they bring Diago Jota's song on, I will be singing for you, so just get ready for that one. I'm not too sure that it's going to happen, but I'm there for it. Salah, I'll bring you back in for the attackers. Thought he was absolutely boss today, both defensively and offensively. Scores a penalty, which he's missed the last 2, so that'd be good to get off his back. What did you think of his overall performance?
Really strong. I mean, what a cool penalty. He was so calm when he kicked that ball. It was great. He played very well. He was in the right areas, and he has a big responsibility on the team, and he's continuing to live up to it. So it was good.
What grade?
He's a tough one to rate. Maybe 8.5.
8.5. Like it. He also pre-assists his ball to Cody Gakpo, his boss, isn't it?
Yeah, he's just class. And the thing that's been lacking a little bit at times with Mo Salah, we were worried about him drifting out so wide on the pitch. How is he going to get involved? Is he going to do the dirty work that's required of that position? Yeah, big time today. A couple of those moments where he's tracking back and winning the ball. He got almost as big a cheer for winning the ball back in our half as he did for scoring the penalty. Yeah, I really like Salah like that. 8 or 9, I reckon.
Well, we've got an 8.5, so we'll go with that.
The bravery for him to put that penalty so high, after missing the target in the last 2, is incredible. Well, maybe he hasn't meant it, but also there's one other thing. The worst.
I'm going to be taking you with me in a minute.
The worst decision I've ever seen from a referee in general play is Paul Tierney giving that foul in the lead up to the 3rd goal when Salah just holds him off. It's absolutely dreadful. It's narrative refereeing, it's context refereeing. It's absolutely shocking, and it's endemic of the crap that we see in the black shirt week on week.
Well, I'm going to come to you, Dave, because there was one absolutely shocking decision there, and it was on Diaz. Diaz, who was playing a decent game. The fact that he'd arrived into the box was brilliant for his goal. He nearly gets his ankle completely and utterly snapped off him. Paul Tierney doesn't even give a foul.
I'm so happy Diaz is back in the side in general, but I wasn't, to be honest, when I seen he was coming back, I didn't expect him to start for the rest of the season. So the fact that he's back into the team and influencing it so much, we haven't had a win like that since he actually got injured. No one's influenced the game from the left wing since Arsenal away, or fucking months ago now. God, the season's gone on too long. But it's just that like Diaz is becoming that player that's going to be the situation of how do you take him out the team now? Yeah. I didn't get a good view of the tackle, to be honest.
I can show you it again in a second. It's a horror tackle, to be honest.
But Paul Tierney's shit. He's always been shit. He hates us. Yeah. Let's be honest, we've known that for a very long time. He shit himself halfway through the game because he wasn't like Heung-min Son drags back Diaz on when he's running through, and then has to go back and book him. And it was only because the crowd got up in his face that he went back and booked him. Like, Paul Tierney's fucking a terrible referee for shit like that because he hates both teams.
Yeah, he does put onto Diaz rating.
I'd say about an 8 or 9 out of 10.
Great.
No matter how far back my hairline goes, I'll never be as bald as Paul Tierney. I'll never be as bald as Paul Tierney. What was your question, Diaz? 9 out of 10, love him.
Right.
He's got a bald soul.
Okay. Diaz?
9.
9. Diaz?
9. Great to see him back.
Great, love to see you. Another player who, I'm not going to lie, I thought he could be man of the match as well, Cody Gakpo. I'm going to come to you, Andy, because he's like your favourite person in the world.
Well, he is my favourite person in the world. He's not like my favourite person in the world. He is my favourite person in the world. I think he's phenomenal. I think after his first 6 or 7 games, we didn't really know where to play him. I don't even know if the idea was for him to come in and play in the centre forward position. But for me, he's every inch the Firmino replacement. His movement, his intelligence, his ability to find space is just absolutely phenomenal. He's the type of player, in a very different way to Suarez, but he's probably the first player since Suarez I've looked at what he's doing and I've laughed. You know, he's the type of player is so good that you laugh at his movement. He finds that space out of nowhere and you laugh at it. I thought he was absolutely incredible. Involved in all 3 goals. 10 out of 10 for me. Centre forward next season every day of the week.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We can't show you that, but that is bad.
Cody Gakpo. Look at 9 again. Just he's class. He knits everything together, and I mean, I was really excited by Darwin Núñez, and I hate doing this like kind of like building someone up by throwing shades, but which I could really do with at the moment. You see, you know why we bought him? Because he makes perfect sense in that Liverpool forward line. He knits it together perfectly. He's a threat himself. He's huge as well, you know what I mean, in terms of his aerial threat. He's absolute perfection in that centre forward position for us. I just want to watch him more, each and every week, again and again.
Yeah, what are you giving him?
I'd give him about a 9 out of 10. The thing is, he gets kicked all over the pitch today, and he is so good at just getting up and going, I'm not last. Let's keep going. He's basically Bobby 2.0, and it's so happy that we're getting a player like Bobby again, just to drive this team forward. He's what Bobby was when Klopp. He's what Klopp brought Bobby in. Well, what Bobby was when Klopp first joined, and he's getting to that counter press and just getting in the faces, running at them, controlling the ball. He's got fucking amazing close control for the size of him, and he's so fast. And he's so deceiving.
But the ball stuck to your feet like glue.
Yeah.
That's what I actually see when I look at Gakpo. Like,
well, this is boss. We are going to get run over at some point, so we're going to quickly go through the substitutes. Henderson.
Fine. You know what? No. 9.
He just said to me, wait, just numbers for the sub.
9 because he went to the corner flag with the last kick of the game.
Yeah,
and I was screaming, corner flag, and he did. So 9 out of 10, Jordan.
6, thought he was fine.
7.
Right, we'll go with 7. I'm going to come with you, Núñez.
Ooh, Núñez. I'll go 7.
7. Núñez.
You know what? 7. Yeah, why not?
I think you should all being a little bit too.
4.
Yeah. Okay.
8.
8.
Yeah, when he actually got the ball, thank you.
Sorry,
The few times he actually did get the ball, he pushed on. First off, 8 for the fucking fucked up touch he had at his first touch. That was beautiful, fully meant. But every time he got the ball, he likes to drive and he likes to just put himself into positions where he can actually influence the game instead of. He's so different to the rest of our forward line in the sense of he doesn't like to come back in a sense as much as we need him to, but he likes to attack the defenders and be on the shoulder of the defence.
If he could win headers,
he doesn't give it up. He doesn't give the game up.
On a negative point, it's exactly what you're going to say. He's remarkably dreadful at winning headers that are pumped up to him.
Yeah. Okay. Now we're gonna quickly. I know he's not position player. Richarlison.
Richarlison nearly has a 10 out of 10 substitute performance.
No, yeah, but I can't have Richarlison have the last say.
Out of 10.
0. I'd give him a 10. He's got mental, him. He's got mental for a draw, and then it's not even ends up a draw.
12 out of 10 every day of the week. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. He whipped his shirt off thinking he got one over on us. He was never getting one over us at his Everton, and I thought he got one over on us now, and he whipped his shirt off, and then we went down the other end and scored. It's the most amazing thing I've ever seen.
You know what he has won? He's won the trophy for having the same amount of goals as Joel Matip this season, so congratulations. Richarlison?
10. Great.
Richarlison?
Absolute 10.
Richarlison, you're not even in the video.
10, just because it made that last goal even sweeter.
It did, didn't it? And now on to the final, and I think we can all collectively say this one together. Diago Jota.
5.
You won't be that.
No.
9!
9.9. He can't get a better rating than Richarlison.
Oh, okay, yeah, sounds.
He was good.
Okay, yeah. Jota?
10.
Jota?
10.
Jota?
10.
Jota?
11.
Jota?
10.
Jota?
10.
Oh, I'll have to do you. Jota?
12.
Oh, love it. Nice one for watching. Do head over and watch. We've got a fan cam out also on this channel. Go and watch Paul's reaction as well. Head over to Redmen Plus. You'll get the final word tomorrow. Go and enjoy that one. And also, we'll have an originals where we'll just laugh at Richarlison one more time. So go and head over. Do subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to Redmen Plus. Up the fucking Reds.
Each and every single month, you could be entered into a prize draw for, generally speaking, some signed Liverpool memorabilia. You just need to be a club legend at redmenplus.com. Honestly, we've given away some absolute belters over the last year and a half, and you could be the next winner.